Yo, vatos, thanks again for tuning into yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's read this post. I don't know if you guys can see it. It looks like I am a little bit too zoomed in here. You guys can't read some of the right. There we go. All right, so believe it or not, this is common. This is a common post we see in the Facebook group. A lot of people are told one thing only to find out after waiting, since April, that's a couple months, only to find out, hey, you know what? It turns out there is some hidden fees that people weren't told, or people weren't, just warned. So anyways, let's go ahead and just read the post. Like I said, there's a lot of these. I put a deposit down for the wait list on a new ST. So Lowrider ST, there's a wait list for these bikes. You guys already know. Some dealerships actually stopped taking deposits already because there's a huge waiting list for a lot of these bikes. It's a bike, it's overhyped. There's a lot of hype. I'm actually, probably you could blame me for a little bit of the hype, because I do like this bike, the Lowrider ST, for $22,000. I'm not gonna get into it, but fairing, saddlebags, dual disc brakes, ABS standard, beautiful color, gunship gray, 117 CVO engine. Man, and it's under $22,000. That's a good deal. But let's keep on reading the post. I knew there would be extra fees and no negotiating, but apparently on top of the setup, freight, etc., there is a $3,000 market adjustment fee, and that's that market value price that I've been mentioning on the channel before. If you go to your dealership, you will see MSRP, which is manufactured suggested retail price. And now there's a market value suggested price, a market value. And that's what this is pretty much it, market adjustment fee. So, like I said, there's a hype, there's a shortage of bikes, there's a shortage of chips, goods, there's a shortage of a lot of things. You guys know the market right now is not, it's not a buyer's market right now for automobiles. We see these markups everywhere across the board. All manufacturers, all the dealerships are gouging customers. All right, that's why they call them dealerships, right? The adjustment fee too. So there's a $3,000 adjustment, market value price adjustment. So $27,500 ish before tax, title, and registration. So $27,500. I don't know if that includes all the fees. I've been told one thing only to find out a different thing. This is an out the door price. So $27,500. That might be. I mean, you could be paying fees on top of that. I'm gonna break that down for you guys in a bit. But $27,500 before title, registration, tax. Title and registration, they're pretty much the same thing, but who knows? I'm not, like I said, I don't know. Depending at the dealership, they'll tell you $27,500. That's the market value price, and then they start adding the fees on top. So is it worth searching for a dealership without such hefty markup, or should I expect that everywhere, or this everywhere? Read about some guys getting it for $25 before the DMV fees, but in San Diego, but I'm in San Diego, thanks in advance. So if you guys seen my videos, I've already mentioned this quite a few times. In California, we could ride year round. All right, that's a luxury out here in California, which means you are gonna, pay some extra fees. We also have an extra $200 fee, emissions fee here in California. A lot of the folks that are getting these Lowrider STs at, MSRP, or, supposedly some people are getting it for under, which, I don't think it's possible. But hey, if you guys got it for less than MSRP, let me know in the comments. But anyways, a lot of these riders that are getting it for market or MSRP, a lot of these folks, they can only ride their bikes maybe 6 months a year or half a year. Once the weather starts to cool down a lot, some of these guys winterize their bikes, and these are typically the guys that only ride for maybe half a year. So it just depends. Like I said, here in California, I can ride my bike, which I do. I ride it year round. Sometimes when it's heavy rain or there's a storm, I'll put it away and I'll drive my vehicle. So anyways, like I said, I've been seeing this a lot. People are putting a deposit on these bikes, and what happens the dealership are accepting deposits, and I guess they're not informing their customers, is they want you to come back. All right, that's the honest truth. They want you to come back. They don't want to lose you as a customer, and by you having a deposit on a bike with them, that guarantees you have to come back. So they're more at ease letting you go. A lot of these dealerships, or a lot of the sales guys are hit, or they get like kind of like a little bit of a negative mark if you let a customer walk out the door without some type of deposit to guarantee that you're gonna come back. So that's that. As far as the waiting list and them telling you, of course, about these markup fees, obviously you're gonna walk away. You're not gonna want to do a deposit. And I mean, for 3,000 plus other fees, you shouldn't obviously you shouldn't agree with that. A lot of the folks, there's 81 comments as of right now. Everybody's kind of saying the same thing. Walk away, go to Laidlaw's. This isn't SoCal. I'm not going to call out the dealership, but if you guys are in the group, you guys are going to know who this dealership is. So, like I said, a lot of people are doing it here in California. I've gotten a lot of messages about my own local dealers and how, they're doing these shady practices. They're still doing it, but like I said, everybody's doing it. All the manufacturer dealerships, automobile, Toyota, Chevrolet, I think Chevrolet, Dodge, those two are the ones that are doing it a lot more. And we've seen market value or markups of 30,000 with some of the vehicles. You guys remember, not too long ago, there was $30,000 markup on Corvettes. So not to, get off a topic too much, but that's the reason why they're taking the waiting list. Some of my local dealers stopped doing waiting lists because, depending on the crunch, you guys remember there was a 2-week stoppage of manufacturing these bikes. So there's a possibility that there's going to be more delays. There's going to be more shortages coming up. So these chips are used in everyday household items. They're used in refrigerators. They're used in cameras, phones. These chips are used everywhere. All right. It's just not vehicles. They're used on everyday household items. So going back on what the sales guys are saying, right? So this is typical. There's been a few sales guys confirming that dealerships are able to get, or Harley knows that this is happening. Harley Eagle Financing, they know what's going on. All right. The comments are, man, does Harley not care about the customers? Does Harley not know what the dealerships are doing? Harley knows exactly what they're doing. Some of the sales guys have mentioned they've been able to sell the Lowrider ST for, hear this, $35,000. All right. So far, Eagle Financing will finance your Lowrider ST up to $35,000. And that's it. That's the cap. Eagle Financing will not. If you get the Lowrider ST for $36,000, then you'll have to obviously pay $1,000 out of pocket, so you could finance the Lowrider ST for $35,000. So this is what they've said in the Facebook group. There's members, there's sales guys. They said they've sold quite a few of these Lowrider STs at $35,000. Eagle Financing, of course, so Harley knows. And you might be wondering, man, what the heck's going on? $35,000. Hey, some of these, financial services, even my own credit union, when I refinanced my Lowrider S, they had said, you know what? We give you a little bit more above MSRP in case you want to buy something, in case you want to finance other additional services, like you could finance maybe a stage 2 or maybe a stage 3 or maybe a 131. You could finance that. You could add that to your loan. You could add a bunch of stuff. You could add the ceramic coating. You could add the prepaid plan. You could add the life tires. You could add the wheels and protection. You could add gap or whatever you want. You could add it onto your loan. So that's why you have that extra cushion. The bike's worth $22,000, but you could finance it up to $35,000, unless, if you wanted to add maybe riding gear, boots, helmet, all this stuff that I'm adding, you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be adding these components or these extra stuff to your loan, because you're financing that for 6 years, 7 years, or whatever you're looking at the APR, at the annual percentage rate of whatever percent. My own loan was 8% 8% on top of 33,000, 35,000. Man, that adds up to a lot of money. Okay, so let's go over some of the fees that you might be looking at. This is one of the web pages that I've been posting in my link, or I've been posting links for this. Of course, if you live in California, you could find out how much you're supposed to pay. So let's just go ahead and do a quick one. Motorcycle model year, of course, it's 2022. Gas, it's not hybrid, obviously. Market value price $27,500. What people fail to realize is if you're paying taxes on this lowrider ST, you're not paying taxes on $22,000. All right, you're not paying that. You're paying taxes on the markup. You're paying taxes on the fees, and you're paying taxes on the dealer prep, which is probably the biggest scam out of all of them. You're paying taxes on all of that. You're paying taxes on the price sold. So let's go ahead and check, August. Today is the 15th, 2022. County, we are in Santa Clara. Well, that's me. Maybe, where is it? There it is, Santa Clara. So obviously, I'm in San Jose. Let's just go ahead, 95123. All right, so this is going to come down to your county. This is going to come down to your state. Every county, every state has different laws. There's caps here in California. Dock fees are $80. I've seen some of you guys mention, hey, my dock fees are, $200, $300. This depends on the state, obviously. So this is what you're looking at: registration and your taxes. So registration fees $410, and your taxes on $27,500. That is $2,578. So you're paying taxes on obviously the markup, and if this does include the additional fees, then you're paying that. You're paying taxes on that too. So this is why I always say be careful when you're negotiating these type of deals. All right, if you were to get into an accident with that bike and you don't have gap, obviously the deal, your insurance is only going to give you what it's worth. If it's been a year, maybe devalues maybe about $2,000, and the bike's only worth, maybe about $18,000. So what does that mean? That means the insurance company is going to give you $18,000. You might still owe, $33,000 maybe by that 1 year. Maybe you still owe maybe about $30,000, because remember, you guys are paying 8%. 20%. My cousin went to the dealership. Eagle Financing gave him a loan of 24%. So depending, there's a lot of numbers going around. I can't give you guys a specific number, but you might be on the hook for $12,000. All right. So if your bike's only worth $18,000 and you still owe $30,000, then obviously the insurance is going to cut you a check for $18,000, and now you're on the hook for $12,000 that you used to have to pay for. So you guys got to be careful when you're willing to pay $3,000, $4,000, $7,000 over MSRP, and when you're also adding those additional fees of prepaid plan, of wheels and tires, of extended service plan, ESP. When you're adding that stuff to your loan, that's what's going on. All right, so just be careful. All right, so going back into your final numbers, obviously. So we have California, $200. So $27,500 plus the $200. That's still, let's just round it up to 28. Freight, $600. That also went up. And then you have the surcharge, $750 on top of that. Man, I wish I had a calculator. Hold on. All right, so I did the math real quick. So 200, 600, 750 on top of obviously the 27,050 or the 27,500, and so based off of those numbers, and obviously I'd added, if you guys could see, so it's 29,050 with the 200, with the 600 freight, and the 900 freight, the surcharge. Was that right? 600. No. Where is the, the 750. So I added the 750 surcharge. This is obviously because the inflation. And so, that came out to 29,050, 27. Now I'm saying maybe it doesn't include the fees. Maybe 27,050 is the market value price. So then you would have to add that. And obviously I did not calculate the dealership prep fee. This could be anywhere from $1,000 from what I've seen personally. I've seen, this prep fee, which is just, it's obvious baloney. All right. It's baloney. The dealership, the manufacturer, the dealership gets paid by the manufacturer to prep these vehicles. It's called a PDI, pre-delivery inspection. That's where, the prep fee is. But, some dealers, they try to charge you as the customer. And, this is just something that the manufacturer is already paying for it. You don't see it here, right? Pricing, information. This is based off of the manufacturer's, fees that you would have to pay. There is no dealer prep fee here, okay? The PDI gets done by the dealership, and it's paid for by the manufacturer. So the prep fee, I added that in there. So it's $1,000. So total $30,050 is your market value with added fees. I forgot to add the dock fee. So let's add the dock fee. Here in California, there's a cap on that. It's $80. So that's the dock fee, $30,130 plus registration and title and taxes. So taxes on $30,050, $80. I added an extra $80. Too bad. So out of that, that's $3,244. So $3,244 plus $3,244. So that comes out to $33,374 out the door. This could, depend on in your own state, on your county. There's an 8% tax here in California on new vehicles. It just depends. I mean, there's a lot of, things to take account. There might be additional fees for this, obviously, but man, you're looking at $33,374. So they're pushing it to the very limit of how much they can use Eagle financing to finance your lowrider ST. It's a good looking bike. It's not worth the hype. Wait this out. My local dealership has about 3 of these in stock from what I've checked, today. But there's a reason for that. All right. There's a reason. There's probably a reason. They're probably doing these same practices. All right. They're probably looking to see who's willing to pay the $4,000, the $5,000 over MSRP to get this bike. All right. So like I said, like I've always mentioned in the videos, just wait this out. This is going to be manufactured for many, many years to come. All right. So one more thing. All right. I know this video is getting kind of long. People are suggesting you should have went with Laidlaw's dealership with Matt Laidlaw. Yes, you could. All right. But you guys have to keep in mind there is a waiting list. All right. You might be someone on the waiting list at another dealership, and you've been waiting since April only to find out, hey, we're selling this bike for $33,000. You want to buy it? You could take it or leave it. Somebody else, you know what? Somebody else is right behind you. We don't care if you don't want it. We don't care if you don't agree with it. Guess what? There's somebody right behind you willing to pay us. They're willing to give us $33,000 for this bike. They're willing to negotiate. They're willing to finance it at $33,000. So if you don't want to take it, you've been waiting, April, May, June, July. Was that 6 months? You've been waiting 6 months for this. You have a place in the line. You could just give us a $33,000. The bike is yours. Or you could go somewhere else and try to find it and wait maybe another 6 months. It's up to you. I mean, this is how these dealerships feel about their consumers, their customers. They know they got you by the balls, and there's just no other way around it. So people have been saying you should have gone to Laidlaw Harley-Davidson. Yes, you can, but guess what? They have a waiting list too. Okay, they might have maybe 100 people waiting for this bike. Maybe they stop taking deposits for the bike. There's a chance. And one more thing, the dealership, the manufacturer, they ship these out randomly. All right, you could have 100 people on the waiting list. Guess what? You will still only get 2, maybe every other week, maybe 2 a month. You could be one of those dealerships where you might just get, based on your sales or your foot tracker or whatever, or your location, you might just get maybe 2 a month, maybe 2 every 2 months. I mean, that's possible. Some dealerships, they don't know what they're getting. My local dealership, they get their shipments on Thursdays. Whenever they get, I mean, they do get a list of some inventory that they should be receiving, but most of these dealerships, they don't know what they're getting on these trucks. You know, sometimes they won't find out until the day of when they get their shipment. That's what, I mean, it's just the way it works. The dealership, they don't know what they're getting. They don't know, they don't have a say on what they could get. But some dealers, like I said, some dealers are getting maybe 2 every other week, 2 a month, 2 every 2 months. So there's a possibility that you might not get one. If you do go, you know what, go to Laidlaw's channel or Laidlaw's Harley-Davidson to avoid paying these stupid, you know, these stupid fees, these $33,374. Like I said before on the channel, you know, $3,000, $4,000, that is honestly worth the travel to go down SoCal. For me, about 6 hours. But yeah, about a 6-hour drive down and then a 6-hour, you know, ride back up to the Bay Area. That is absolutely worth it. That's 12 hours of my time and maybe a friend. 12 hours of his time to get, you know, driven down there, or you could fly down there. There's been other people flying, you know, flying that distance, maybe 2 hours, and then riding the bike back up. So, man, this video is long, guys. A lot of things to, you know, to take, but you guys got to make the right choice. If you think it's worth it, and if you're paying $33,000 for this bike, you better make sure you have gap in there too, because yeah, being on the hook for $11,000, $12,000 on a bike that you no longer have because of whatever, you know, God forbid something happens to you, it sucks. All right, so anyways, don't get suckered in. Don't believe the hype. It's a gorgeous bike, but just wait it out. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you for watching yet another video. You guys go ahead and leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about this crazy I mean, it's nuts. But I mean, it is what it is. It's hard to gauge, you know, the sales. It's hard to gauge all of this. We're in just weird, bizarre times, strange times. All right, stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.